This is Swami Pradeep. So today our subject is all about forgiveness. So what exactly is forgiveness is all about? We need to understand. There are several parts. Okay, one is how do you cultivate forgiveness within you, and what is exactly forgiveness is all about. What is forgiveness? It's a kind of a virtue. Okay, when you develop, what happens is by forgiving, whether somebody does a mistake or you have done a mistake, either way, one is you seek forgiveness, another one you forgive for other person's actions, right? So by forgiving, for example, if a person hurts you and you forgive that person, do you think you will feel good, nice, fantastic? Yes, of course you will do. But it depends on the kind of a hurt that other person has inflicted upon you and the kind of a relationship you have with that person. Right? I'll tell you. For example, you walk in the street or you travel in a train or somewhere, and somebody involuntarily, hurt you or abuse you verbally. What happens? If you have that virtue of forgiveness, you don't react. You just say, okay, I'm sorry, and you move on. Or if you have hurt somebody without your knowledge, you seek forgiveness. And it's over then and there. Maybe after 1 or 2 days, you'll still remember, but generally we forget it. Why? Because they're strangers. That's not only reason, I'll tell you one more before that. In case, if you have been hurt or you hurt someone whom you love or someone you have a longer relationship, maybe your brother or sister or parents or spouse or your friends, what happens? It takes longer time to forgive them. And also it depends on what kind of action they have inflicted upon you. But still, it takes longer time. Why? It's because the kind of a time you have invested on that person. The stranger, it's just maybe a few minutes or few hours, right? But with your loved ones, your time you have spent or invested is pretty long. It is years together. So this is also one aspect of to understand. Sometime when you forgive, still, when you meet that person again, that hurt still lingers in your mind, right? It hurts you. You don't know why, what's the reason. This is the reason. Okay. So another aspect of forgiveness. Why should we cultivate or why should we nurture this virtue of forgiveness? What does forgiveness gives you? When you start forgiving a person, it gives you a sense of control about yourself. It gives you peace, happiness, calmness, serenity. These are all the characteristics you develop by virtue of the act of forgiveness. On the contrary, if you react, if somebody has hurt you, what happens? You're angry, you're frustrated, you're infuriated, right? And you also react, you also abuse. It just takes you off. You lose your calmness, you lose your sense of control. And it percolates in every other aspect of your life. Be it in office, be it at home, a small thing which can trigger you. It can percolate in every other aspect of your activities in your life. Okay, let me tell you a story here. As usual, right? Story always conveys truth message very quickly. So the story here is a driver, okay, a cab driver. He was driving a car. He had a passenger behind him, one passenger, single passenger, and he was driving very, very in a normal speed, following all rules, perfect. And while he was driving in an intersection, okay, the signal for him was green. He has to pass through. So while doing it, you saw another car just, rushing behind him. It just sped off, trying to speed off in front of him. Okay, he jumped the signal. And luckily, since this guy was driving in a normal speed, he was able to stop it. That guy also stopped it. He stopped his vehicle a few meters away. And that person, okay, started abusing this guy with flurry of abusive languages. Okay, the guy over here, he did not react. He just opened his window, and he just said, I'm sorry, I apologize, it's okay, please carry on. Still, that did not, let him calm down. Even more abused him, and he sped away. And this guy again started driving. The passenger behind him was so amused. He asked this driver, my friend, why did you apologize? Absolutely, it is his mistake, right? He jumped the signal. And luckily, since you are driving normal speed, you are able to thwart the accident. It could have hit his car. So why did you apologize? You could have also gone and reacted, right? So his driver said one single word. Sir, why should I take his garbage upon me and stink myself? And with this garbage, why should I spread it to others? The passengers, you understand. Can you explain to me, my friend? The driver said, please understand, sir. I know it is his mistake. If I'm going to react, okay, to his abusive language, what will happen? I will also use some or other abusive language, and I will lose my calm. I'll be angry, I'll be frustrated, I'll be infuriated, and it will lose my peace of mind. I don't want to do that. I have a job right now, right? I'm in a cab. I have to drive you to your location safely. And once I start reacting to his abusiveness, and I lose my peace, and the whole day will be spoiled. Maybe, by the time I drop you down, if there is some, confusion about the fare you have to pay, I may not be able to react calmly. I'll be abusive with you also. And what has happened? You will be also upset. And with that feeling, you will go back to your family. You will be also feeling irritated. Maybe you might spread that anger and frustration to your family members. So look at it, how infectious this is if you react to anger. That's why I have developed this virtue of forgiveness, because I don't want to carry that garbage with me and keep that garbage with me and stink myself and spread that garbage also to others. So, with this story, what did you understand? The act of forgiveness is such a beautiful act. It gives you a sense of calmness, happiness, and you are in control of yourself. But can you keep on forgiving everyone every time? Is it possible? No, it's not possible, right? I'll talk about that also right now. Let's take an example. Your friend or your family member have hurt you. They come, okay, and you feel okay, fine. They have done something mistake, and you highlight that, okay, I'm forgiving you. It's fine. And they react to you again in an abusive manner. What happens is it creates a friction, right? So what we can do is when somebody is abusive with you, either you try to calm down that person, explain the situation. If that person is not ready to listen to you, better move out of that situation. Maybe after some time, maybe a few hours or a day or two, when you meet that person or when you chance upon the person again, you can explain. Look here, see, this is what you have done. It's not good, right? Anyway, I don't have any issue, okay? I'm happy because I love you. That's the reason. I'm not taking it or carrying it, or I'm going to react to your action. If that person is sensible enough, loving enough, caring enough, he or she might acknowledge it and accept it. And he or she may say, yes, I think what I've done is wrong. I'm sorry. It's an apology, okay? And an apology is a different subject. I'll talk about that in a different session. So apology is part of forgiveness also. So when that person, without giving any reason, okay, and the moment that person knows, yes, I've done a mistake and apologize sincerely, then when you forgive, the forgiveness takes place and immediate effect on him or her and you. On the contrary, if that person says, okay, when you explain about, I have forgiven you for your mistake, what you have done, and that person says, yes, I do agree, I hurt you, but do you know why I hurt you? This is the reason, this is the cause, this is the situation. That means that person has not accepted his mistake. He is only justifying his mistake, his action, temporarily to reconcile with you, with him or with her for that situation. So that means that person will continue doing that mistake again. The moment somebody apologizes without any reason, fantastic. If that person gives a reason, this is how I've done, this is what it is, then it's not apology. You're just covering up your mistake. And for that, if that person seeks for if that person is being forgiven for his or her mistake, he will not be, ending it up. He will again do the same mistake. So this you need to remember when you forgive somebody. When you forgive someone, and that forgiveness, you need to understand that person accepts it and has a remorse feeling and accepts your forgiveness as a love, as a virtue of that relationship, and that person also, completely, as I told you, apologizes and seeks forgiveness. Then forgiveness do, have a beautiful relationship. But sometimes, even if you forgive that other person, doesn't accept your forgiveness. So what do you do with those kind of people? Let me tell you one more story here. In centuries back, when Lord Buddha was there. Okay, this is a story about Lord Buddha. I know most of you maybe would have heard about this, but still, let me repeat this again. Once Lord Buddha was sitting and giving a sermon, a person came over there and he started hurling abuses on Buddha. That people say that you are somebody like a god, that he started abusing after abusing. Buddha didn't react anything. He was just sitting calm, quiet. People around Lord Buddha was wondering, what is this? Lord Buddha is not reacting at all. So after a few minutes, once the person has done with this abusive language and his action, and Buddha looked at him. Have you done with your action? He looked at him. He didn't say anything. Yeah, more or less. Okay. Let me ask you one thing, my friend. If you have a gift in your hand and you want to give that gift to me, okay, and I refuse to take that gift, who does that gift belong to then? And he was a little bit confused. He was thinking, I said, obvious, if you don't take that gift, it will remain with me only. Fantastic, Buddha said. Same way, whatever you have told about me right now in the last few minutes, okay, I have refused to accept it. All your abuses which you have hurled upon me, I refuse to take it. So who will it belong to? It belongs to that person only. So what happened? From this story, what you understood? Buddha remained calm as usual, as Buddha the Great. The person who hurled the abuses was even more infuriated when he heard Lord Buddha has not reacted it at all. I mean, that's the end of that story, okay? But in that story, what I see in the moral of the story is one Lord Buddha who, refused to be instigated by that other person's action, remained calm, composed. And when that other person was told upon, right, was enlightened the truth also, either if he understood the truth, he could seek forgiveness from Buddha and he can be a changed person, or he can be the same old person, right? That's his choice. Same way, when you forgive someone, please do not have an expectation that the moment you forgive, that person will have to accept your forgiveness. No, it's not possible. Some may accept, some may don't accept. That's their choice. But you have a choice. By being forgiveness in nature, and you should understand by being or by developing the nature of forgiveness. You're calm, you're happy, and this virtue, these actions can help you in your life in a very, very beautiful manner. Example, even in office, okay? Even in office, you would have, it's a very, when your manager, shouts at you, whether you have done a mistake or not done a mistake, it's fine. You do what you have to do. Don't react. Forgiving, forgive yourself. So, developing this virtue of forgiveness, you have seen what all benefits you get, not only in character, even in health-wise, okay? When you get angry, upset, and all, what happens? Your BP shoots up. And that can lead to headache, to a lot of other physical ailments also. I mean, not 1 or 2 days. If it continues to happen, it can cause a lot of psychosomatic disorders in you. Because anger is such a terrible, terrible disease, let me tell you. It's a terrible disease. And if you let it grow in your life, it can ruin you, your life, people around you also. So you need to understand, why are you getting infuriated if somebody hurts you? Even at times you want to develop forgiveness, but still, after forgiving that person, as I told you, in the beginning of my session, even if you forgive, maybe you meet that person again, still, you feel some kind of a resentment against that person. Why? Let me tell you one more story. This will be a better way to make you understand. There was a person, married person, living happily with his wife and children. He is a habitual, of person who keeps shouting, abusing at his wife for small things. But at times he's so lovable also, very lovable, caring husband, caring father. He himself realized after abusing his wife, he'll regret, oh my God, what have I done? He'll go and apologize to her. And he'll say, I'm sorry, dear. You know why? This is the reason. This is why I've done this. This is why I started shouting at you. And the wife, it's okay, my dear husband. It's fine. No problem. But it started hurting him very bad. So what he did, he went and met a guru, master in his ashram. And he explained this predicament, his situation to this master. The master listened to him carefully and he said, my dear friend, I think you're hurt very deeply. Very deeply, you have a lot of hurt which you're still not healed. This guy didn't understand. I didn't understand, Guruji. He said, maybe from your childhood period, someone would have hurt you and you still kept it in your heart. You're still not cleaned it. That is added up, and now it's reacting in your life. Again, this guy said, how can that, hurt me again, which has happened, decades earlier? So Guruji said, okay, my friend, take a glass of water. He took a full glass of water and he told that person to hold it in front like this, okay? So Guru asked, how are you feeling? How do you feel the weight of that water? He said, I don't feel anything. I'm fantastic, comfortable. Guruji said, okay, great. Please hold on. Don't bring your hand down. Don't put the water glass down. Keep on holding it. Seconds passed, minutes passed. Then Guruji asked him, how are you feeling? Guruji, my hands are slightly aching. Can you feel the weight of the water now? He said, yes. It's weighing on me now. So Guruji made him to wait for some more time. And it was now kind of unbearable pain, okay? He was stretching his hand for several minutes now. Then the Guruji said, now how do you feel? Said, no, Guruji, I can't hold it anymore. It's weighing very, very heavy on me. My hands are hurting. I said, okay, pull it down. Bring the water bottle, glass down. Then he said, it's not the question of the quantity what you're holding. It is how long you are holding it. Okay? So the water glass is hardly anything, right? The weight, maybe, 100 grams or 200 grams. But the longer you have been holding, it hurts you very deep. So the small hurt which you have gone through in early part of your life, which you have not healed it by not understanding why you got hurt, you let it grow. So without your knowledge, right? Without your knowledge, it has become kind of an infectious disease upon you in your mind. So that is why even a small things, as you were saying, your wife, when a small mistake she does, you feel it is something very big and you start abusing her. And even your own small mistake, you are not able to understand. Why? Because of your past hurt. So my dear friends, introspect, contemplate, go back into your early part of your life. See what all has happened in your life. Where have you been hurt? Mentally and emotionally. By whom? I don't want you to stay on with that, okay? I'm not saying go back and, stick on to your old memories. No. Feel, understand certain things which have hurt you. Still, it might hurt you even now. Look into it. As I told you, contemplate about it and clean it up with common sense and reasoning. Okay, if it is done by someone, please forgive that person. Forgive mentally. If possible, you can speak to that person physically also, through phone, through meeting. Just forgive and let go of all these acts. Whether that person accepts or not, that's fine, that's okay. No expectation. At least you will feel good. Right? So, to sum up on this forgiveness subject, by developing forgiveness, the act of forgiveness, the virtue of forgiveness, what you get in your life, happiness, joy, a sense of calmness, and obvious peace in your life. You are in control of your life. Right? So please develop that virtue of forgiveness, love yourself, love everyone around you. God bless you all. Thank you. Pranam.
Subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on notifications. Click on the like button. Share.